What is your first reaction when someone tells you to play a character? Be honest here. Because that reaction, that exact reflex right now in your body is telling you something important about why you're getting the results you're getting. If it was, that sounds fake, I'm the best version of myself which exists in today's world, or I will never pretend to be someone which I'm not. Stay with me, because that reaction is costing you more than you know in your personal life and in your professional life and in your social life, more than you can even imagine. So, today in this video, I'll be covering a few points that why you need to stop being yourself and what you need to do instead, right? Today, we're going into the most misunderstood concepts of self development, that is the alter ego, the character, not as a trick, not as a mask, but to be used as a tool, arguably the most powerful one a man can pick up in his journey of life. And by the end of this, you'll understand why every high performing man you have ever admired was using one, whether he called it that or not. This is a composed meal. Let's get into it. Let's go. Now, the number one point which I would like to discuss here is handling the objection first. Let's deal with the obvious one immediately, because if I don't, it will sit in the back of your head for the rest of this video and you won't actually hear what I have to say. But that's so fake. That's not me. Why should I pretend? I hear you. I understand you, man. You're right. You're half right. But here is what you're missing. Everyone is already playing a character, even you. Already, you might be also playing some character. I also play a character in front of the people I'm dealing with. Everybody does. Everyone does that. For example, the version of you at a job interview or in your workplace or in your business is not the version of you at 11 p.m. in the night outing with your closest buddies. The version of you meeting a woman for the first time or going out on a date is not the same version of you 3 months into knowing that female. The version of you around your parents, around your grandparents, is not the version of you in your own head. These aren't performances you consciously chose. They are characters that got built around you by what you registered mentally, what got rewarded, and what got punished, and what was socially acceptable. By what made people like you, and what made them leave. Leave as in not talk to you again. Every human being is running a constructed, engineered self, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. The question here then comes to is never whether you're playing one role or not, but what benefits your goals. The actual question then comes here is how can I benefit myself? How can you benefit yourself? How does a situation benefit you overall? The question is whether you choose to do it in a more expansive manner or not. Most men are performing a character that fear built for them. They are playing the safe guy, the agreeable guy, the nice guy, the yes man, a guy who never takes up too much space because at some point it felt dangerous, and they call that being themselves. Here is the most important reframe I can give you as per this situation and scenario. Choosing your character deliberately is not letting anyone else choose it for you via social conditioning and programming. It is the first genuinely conscious thing most men ever do about who they are. Think about a great actor. Heath Ledger played the Joker. Now I'm taking an example here. He studied the character, inhabited it, gave it everything he had, and then he went home. He was not the Joker. The character served the performance, not the other way around. That is the distinction. The actor plays the character does not play the actor. Now, let me tell you what this actually feels like in practice. I want you to think about the moment before you walk into any room or any situation or any scenario. Maybe it is a first date, maybe it is a job interview, maybe it is a room full of strangers where you don't know anyone and you have to make something happen. That feeling in your chest, that's not nerves in the ordinary sense. That's your real self being exposed before you decided what to show and what not to show. Now imagine this. You have decided something that you'll act in a certain way, you'll play a certain character before you walk in, that you're stepping into a fictional, mind made character, something which you have designed for yourself in your own head. Let's say, let's build this character now. Let's say that he's confident, charismatic, carefree, comfortable in his own skin, slightly amused by everything, not trying to impress anybody because he doesn't need to. Now, imagine yourself walking in as that fictional character. She's not interested. She rejected the character, not you. That interview didn't go well. They passed on the character. You weren't in the room to be touched. That deal didn't go through. It's fine. The character is to blame, not you. Someone tried to put you down. They threw it at the character. It didn't land where they aimed it. Do you understand how powerful this mental reframe is? It's armor, not physical armor, a mental shield. You can't wear a suit of steel into a conversation, but it functions exactly the same way, psychologically and mentally. Because you have told yourself something specific. The real me is not in this arena. The character is. And I choose the character. So I can always choose a better one tomorrow. This is the reframe which you will go through in your head. This is documented in elites sports psychology also. It's not a fringe theory. I'll give you some examples. Beyoncé has Sasha Fierce, her stage alter ego that she has spoken about publicly for years and years on, and you can even search it up on Google or ChatGPT. She said it in interviews that she could not have performed the way Sasha performs. Sasha could do things even Beyoncé herself found terrifying. Kobe Bryant, the basketballer, the most famous one there could have been, he was, now he isn't, had the Black Mamba mentality, a character he deliberately constructed, cold, precise, relentless, without sentiment, without feelings, without emotions. He wore the character in every game. Kobe, the person, loved his family. The Mamba had no feelings in court. Muhammad Ali performed his persona before every single fight. The bravado, the predictions, the poetry. It was theater. It was also the most effective psychological weapon in sports history. Now, take a moment, think about all these examples which I told you. These people were not delusional. They were not lying about who they are. They were using it as a tool that most people are too afraid to pick up because they have confused using the character with losing themselves. No, I'm not telling you to lose your actual self. I'm not telling you to change yourself. I'm telling you to build a persona that serves you in every situation you go into, you walk into, because that will benefit you in the long run. The men, the guy who truly loses himself or themselves are the ones who never chose a character consciously, and they spend their whole life running the fear one built for them, running from the fear the one built for them. The armor works because you choose it, you create it to serve a particular purpose for you. Now, here's the honest version. When I first started learning about this concept of characterization and portrayal, building this character, playing this more confidently, building a carefree version of myself, maybe building a loving version of myself, maybe building a more emotionally mature version of myself, different versions. Internally, I was terrified. And every time my heart rate would go up, overthinking every word, scanning for rejection before it arrived. But because I was playing the character and it was not me there psychologically, I felt safe in it. The fear was still there, but it was behind the armor. And the character walked forward any which ways. What happened over time was the gap between the character and the internal state, my internal state, slowly closed up. The gap slowly diminished. The gap went away. Not because I suppressed the fear, but because I kept showing up in the character until the character became my baseline existence. The confidence stopped being uh, performative or physical. It became natural, structural, and a default existence state. The armor doesn't always stay external or psychological. Eventually, over a period of time, gradually, it will become you. Here's the principle underneath all of this. And this is the most important thing I'll say in this video, so stay with it. Live at the extremes externally, but remain in the center internally. I like to repeat that. Live at the extremes externally and remain at the center internally. Let me break that down into something more concrete. To be perceived as a no shits given character externally, aloof, carefree, without a worry in the world, but internally to be headstrong, cleared eyed about consequences. Every action has a cost. The character looks careless, but the man behind the character isn't. To carry the reputation of someone who walks away, but, and this is critical, the willingness to walk away has to exist internally also. I'm not telling you to pretend. I'm not telling you to act. I'm not telling you to become an actor. No. The man who performs the act but cannot genuinely do it without caring about the consequences internally also, this act will then become transparent. It will become a show. It will become something which you are doing performatively, not genuinely. And if it is see through, if it is transparent, then it doesn't work. It collapses under the smallest amount of pressure or questioning or cross questions. The internal reality here has to match as well. The character makes it visible, but the conviction makes it actual. The conviction in your own head makes it real. To be confident and carefree in the room, but humble and honest with yourself when you're alone. Because the man who starts believing the character too soon is him. Who is him? Him is who can't take off the armor anymore. It is the most dangerous version of this gone wrong. You have met this man. He only talks about caring what other people think in every conversation, which means he cares more than anyone. He's so deep in the character that he can't find a backdoor to himself. That's not strength, that's a man trapped in performance. So now what I'm genuinely trying to convey and trying to tell you is the whole point of the character is that you can put it on and you can put it off. Like a light bulb, like a switch, like a lever. The man who can't do both has lost the thing that made it valuable. Now, coming to another point, the world hasn't earned the real you. What do I mean by that? Now, here's the part that sits underneath all of this. The reason this matters, what I'm telling in this video, is beyond tactics and results. The world doesn't deserve to see the real you until it has earned the real you. Sit with that. The world doesn't deserve to see the real you until it has earned the real you. This is not bitterness, this is not cynicism, this is protection. For the part of you that is actually, truly, genuinely worth protecting and providing for. Here is how most men become jaded in today's date. Not because the world is cruel, though mostly it is what I believe, but because they gave their real self too early to people, to rooms, to situations that hadn't proven that they could hold it carefully. And every time it came back damaged or ignored or used against them. And then they told themselves maybe the real me isn't worth much. That's not a lesson about who you are, that's a lesson about role playing. The character is the gate. The character goes into the room first, goes into the situation first, goes into the scenario first. It takes the hits, it navigates the politics, runs the social dynamics very, very carefully. And only after a person, a situation, a relationship, a room has proven over time and consistent behavior that they can hold the real you carefully, does the real you step forward after that. This is why the men and the people closest to you in your life get a completely different version of you than the room does. Those people have earned it. They went through the gate. Everyone else gets the character, and the character is more than enough. But these people deserve the real you. The ones who are closest to you, the ones who care about you, the ones who truly love you. This is what keeps the real you intact, not hidden, not suppressed, but protected. And the men who are capable of deep, long lasting relationships, the ones where someone truly knows them, are almost always the men who understand this distinction very, very carefully. Not the men who gave themselves away to everyone and were left wondering why nothing felt real. Now, keeping the best parts of the character. Coming to the best part about all of this is that you play the character long enough, you keep showing up in the psychological armor, and over time you start to become the best parts of it. The confidence that was performed becomes earned. The carefree quality that was an act becomes genuine. Because over time and over practice and over years and years of slogging, you have accumulated enough evidence that you can handle whatever comes your way. The courage that was borrowed becomes owned now. And eventually, this is the part I want you to hear carefully. Eventually, you will realize that the armor was never separate from you. It was always a version of you that you hadn't activated because of the fear of societal, what society thinks about you. You weren't faking strength, you were practicing it until it became your real, true existence. The character and the man slowly become the same person, they become one. Not because you lost yourself in the role, because you grew into it. Meditate on that. Now, go back to the question at the start. What was your reaction when someone tells you to play a character? If it is still that's fake, ask yourself honestly, what character are you playing just now? Who built it? Did you choose it? And is it getting you the real actual life results you actually want? Because here's the truth. The man who refuses to consciously choose a character doesn't avoid playing one, he just keeps playing the one that got handed to him because of the fear of rejection, because of the societal conditioning, and what other people expect from him, which was assembled for him by default. Choosing it deliberately is not performance, it's authoritativeship, it's authority. You are the actor, the character is the vehicle, and the real you is what you protect, develop, and grow, and share it with only the people who genuinely earned it. The armor stays forever, and eventually you realize that was you all along. Discipline, clarity, and daily growth. Subscribe if this is the kind of man you are building towards. This is the composed meal. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye bye. Take care.